Now that we understand the different navigation types, the different plans, the way they're stored, let's now have a look at the different styles in which we can use them. Navigating directly from one point to another is particularly suitable for navigating off-road, where you are on maps that are a little less defined. Or you might even just prefer to explore the path rather than follow one. The simplest version of this is to just use waypoints, and you can load them onto your file and then manually grab one after the other. Alternatively, you can store these waypoints as a route, then your device will automatically find the next one using a straight line between each point. The pros of this is it is really simple in the field, and it doesn't rely on the map itself being structured perfectly. Avoids the risk of miscalculations, and it's fun for exploring and making path decisions on the fly. Depending on the device, the ETA is often unavailable. The distance is calculated as the crow flies, rather than the path that you're actually going to take. And of course, you then need to be aware of things like fuel usage or how far you're walking, because your actual path will be a lot further than the straight line distance. If you want to follow a specific path and neither hell nor high water is going to get in your way, and you want to follow that predefined path, then a track is what you're after. This can be done virtually using a platform like Gaia Maps, or from an actual track that someone else has taken and sent to you. Most applications or devices will have their own navigation styles to interact with them. Osman, for example, will interpret and provide turns and an ETA based on the predefined average speed. You simply load the track onto the device, then it will prompt you to navigate from either the start to the finish or the finish to the start. Some will then also interpret where you end up in the middle of the track and allow it to navigate from that point forward. The pros are it is perfect for following a very specific path. It's most accurate and sturdy with an ETA based on distance only. If it's an actual track that has been recorded from another device, it'll contain times and speeds, which will give you an even more accurate prediction. The downside is that it is a locked-in plan, so it doesn't know how to deviate if you come up against an obstacle and you need to go around. It can't provide ETAs typically, depending on the device, nor can it provide distances to stops along the way. It's only going to give you the overall distance to go. The other navigation style is to believe in your device and let it do the routing. Dynamic navigation following roads, trails, waterways even, is probably the more common one that we'll see, particularly on applications as simple as Google Maps. You provide the application with the route points where you want to stop, and it will work out the best path to get there depending on its settings. This option of course allows you to choose different paths along the way, and it can work out where it goes from that point forward, and you can easily skip sections if you need to make up time. However, it is reliant on the accuracy of the map. It may end up finding a way around an obstacle that doesn't exist because the map doesn't quite connect up perfectly, or you can even skip some of the best parts of the track because it doesn't know it's there. The pros of routing is that it is the most dynamic and the most adaptable. It'll also most likely, depending on the device, give the most accurate ETAs, particularly for distance and time and stops as well as the final destination. And it is also the most adaptable to anything that goes wrong. It's great when the maps are great, however, it can just take the tiniest little part of the map that's not connected and it can send you completely in the wrong direction. I've had instances where it's tried to send me about 200 kilometers out of the way because a simple little line on a map didn't connect. So if they've all got their pros and cons, which one do I use? Well, I actually use a hybrid of all of them. All of my GPX files will have all three data types in them. I'll have waypoints, I'll have tracks, and I'll have routes. I use the waypoints as a reference, particularly at points of interest I may choose to go and visit. I use the track to display my intended path, and then I use a route on top of the track so that I can get all the advantages of having a route, such as ETA, and I also like to know how long it is to the next stop.